Hello everyone, this will be my review on the DaYan Guhong. Okay, so I don't want to make this review like every other DaYan Guhong review out there because I know it's an old cube. I know everyone knows a lot about this cube, and so I don't want to just repeat what everyone already knows. So this review will basically just cover how it still stacks up against some of the newer cubes, if it's still worth getting. I know you can't get the V1, but you can just take torpedoes out of the V2 if you want the same sort of feel to the Guhong 1. So this video will just be about if this still stacks up as a good cube, and if the Guhong is still worth buying over the Zhanchi. Okay, so as you all know, DaYan cubes look a little bit different to some other cubes. The biggest difference is these are quite square sort of cubes. There's not much rounded edges to them. They're quite sharp edges. Another thing is the holes in between the pieces on each face. It's hard to see on camera, but hopefully you can see. And most of you will know what it looks like anyway, because you have one of these. The stickers are good quality. I've had these are the original stickers, and they're in fine conditions. There's a few chips and stuff, but other than that, good condition, and they have been for quite a while, so nothing to worry about with sticker quality really, at all. So that's pretty much the exterior of the cube. It's not anything crazy different besides these holes and probably a little bit of a sharper sort of look to it than some other cubes. Okay, probably the most interesting thing about the Guhong is the pieces. Here's an edge piece. It's very odd looking. It's very fat, and yeah, just very weird compared to other cubes. Here's a corner piece. Very different. You don't see it in really any other cubes that aren't DaYan. So there's a corner piece. Very odd looking pieces. The rest of the cube isn't incredibly different in the way of core and stuff. It's just a normal core in there, so nothing special there at all really. Center caps are very easy to take off. It's just there. They come off quite easily. So you shouldn't have much trouble with any Guhong center cap pieces. They're all very easy to put on and get off, and they stay on. They don't pop off or anything like that. So you can see how the pieces fit together. They work really well, quite obviously, and yeah, it's a very different sort of looking cube on the inside. Okay, so the overall performance of this cube, it sounds sort of swishy, and that's how it feels as well, if you can hear that. Yeah, it's a really smooth, sort of fluid sort of feeling. It's a very fast cube. It'd be my fastest cube to solve with. Not quite the fastest spinning cube, just like that, but in terms of executing algorithms, it is very, very, very quick. The thing that helps DaYan cubes the most, and it's probably what they're most popular for, is their cutting. This one's very tight. It doesn't cut as well as most Guhongs do, but it gets line to line pretty comfortable. Anything past that, it sort of is locking at the moment, but probably because I have it set a bit tight. Unlike most cubes, it reverse corner cuts quite well. Once again, this is set tight, so it doesn't do as much as normal cubes will. So it's got a pop then. So, you know, reverse cutting with this cube, specifically mine, isn't amazing, but it cuts that quite easily. And most cubes will cut more if you loosen it a bit. I've just got this a little bit tight. It does pop a little bit, as you saw. If you get a lock up and try to push through it, sometimes it will pop. That is fixed with the V2 with torpedoes, although it doesn't make it as smooth as this. So if you are accurate enough that you don't pop the cube very much, I'd take the torpedoes out of a V2 and use it like this. But I do tend to get a few pops if I'm a bit over aggressive with it. But, I mean, I did that quickly and relatively carelessly, and that wasn't popping. So all in all, it doesn't pop very often, but it does happen sometimes, maybe a little bit more than some other cubes. But other than that, it's really quick, cuts corners really well, and doesn't really pop on you that much. Okay, so in summary, this cube, is it still worth getting? I think yes. There's the Zhanchi out, as everybody would know, which is extremely fast. It has torpedoes, and I think that will lead to a lot less Guhong sales. But I think if you're an intermediate sort of solver, like I only average around 30 seconds, and I haven't got a Zhanchi yet. I've had a good look at them, but I really don't know that it's necessary for me right now. Like, I don't think I'm quite fast enough to really worry about speed that much in terms of the Zhanchi. Like, when I do buy one, I'll probably buy a Lubick Zhanchi, so that will obviously be very, very quick. This at the moment does the job very well. Like, I'm not sure how they compare price-wise to the Zhanchi, but if they're even just a little bit cheaper, I would definitely buy this over the Zhanchi if you're sort of averaging probably around 30 seconds or more. Like, that's where I am about now, and I don't feel like I need a faster cube. I feel like I need to get faster than the cube I've got before I get a new cube, and I don't feel like I'm faster than this right now. So what I would do now is probably, if I had to do it again, buy a V2, and depending on how it feels, I might take the torpedoes out, but it would help the popping problem that this does have. So if it didn't really slow the cube down and it didn't feel that bad, I'd probably leave the torpedoes in, and I'm sure it would be a really, really good cube. Other than that, I definitely still think this is worth getting. Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't really worry about the Zhanchi too much until I got a bit faster. So if you're sort of an intermediate level cuber who's looking for a fast, reliable cube, I mean, the Guhong's probably one of the most popular cubes for a reason. Definitely worth still looking at, even though it's starting to get a bit old. I mean, the V2's obviously just come out, but the Guhong name has been around for a very long time now. But even then, I still think this is really worth having, even just, for the sake of saying you've got a Guhong, everyone's got one. Is one of the reasons I bought this cube, is just so I could have one to see what all the fuss was about. And I do see what all the fuss is about. It's a great cube, it's a fast cube, it cuts corners better than any other cube I have. And even though the Zhanchi might be faster, if you're solving around 30 seconds, you really don't have to worry about it yet. And I would definitely look at getting this cube just for the sake of having a Guhong. Okay, so that was my review on the DaYan Guhong V1. Thanks heaps for watching. I'll be doing a few more videos soon on a few more cubes, and I should be buying a few cubes soon as well that I'll do reviews on, and some unboxings on as well. So thanks heaps for watching.